everyone talking about Yes, I Was Madly in Love, but that was Yesterday by Kilian. Right off the bat, it's Kilian, so you know you're most likely getting a ridiculous name like that. Not necessarily the most appealing if someone says, hey, what are you wearing? You smell really good. Yes, I was madly in love, but that was yesterday. Okay, geez. But this has raspberry, blonde tobacco, and leather. This is definitely has some similarities with Tom Ford Tuscan leather, but not nearly as intense, and I would call this a lot more unisex. To me, Tuscan leather leans more masculine. The raspberry here is much sweeter than Tuscan leather, or maybe it's just that it's more present, so it's less of the leather completely overtaking the raspberry. And the other big difference is really the tobacco. The tobacco isn't extremely harsh here, but it's absolutely present, and it does have a bit of that kind of musty, earthy side of it. So it's interesting how, compared to Tuscan leather, on one hand it goes sweeter with the raspberry being amped up, a little more high-pitched, and on the other hand, there's the kind of darker aspect of the tobacco that is not in Tuscan leather. So this, I don't like it as much as Tuscan leather, not because it's weaker. I think really mainly the tobacco, and I think the raspberry is like a little bit too sugary for me in this. It goes for 125 euros for a 100 mil, which with the dollar right now, that's $125. And I say it in euros because it is only in the French Kilian online shop right now, as far as I can see. I'll put a link to that, and I'll put a link where you can get a sample of it in the US and from a place that I believe ships worldwide. Yeah, very unisex. Could easily be worn by anyone. Definitely more of a cold weather scent. Please don't wear this when it's super hot out. You're not going to probably like it, and no one else around you is either. But if it's like fall or winter during the day, but especially night, like a date night type of scent, yeah, this could feel really elegant and refined and nice and a little bit mature, but just again more in the way of like not teenage, but nothing at all dated or anything like that. I think it could really work for almost any age as long as you're an adult. And I mean, compared to Tuscan leather as of right now, it is much cheaper, and it doesn't smell low quality or anything. This isn't like one of those Tuscan leather dupes that's like, okay, great, it's $30, but it smells like it's $30 or something like that. But ultimately, it's not for me because the tobacco is just a little bit too much of a turnoff. It almost smells to me like, you're wearing a fresh, crisp leather jacket, holding an ashtray with a bunch of raspberries in it. That sounds worse than I mean it, because anything that involves holding an ashtray is not going to sound like a compliment, but that's kind of the vibe that it evokes to me. But yeah, if you've tried it, let me know what you think. It definitely seems to be compared to Tuscan leather by a lot of other people on Fragrantica as well. And again, with anything, don't blind buy it. Check it out. If you hate Tuscan leather, just don't even check this out. I mean, there's no way I can picture someone really loving this who hates Tuscan leather. But if you like it and think, oh, I wish it was like a little bit less intense, or just I wish there was a cheaper version, yeah, this might be worth your while.